to settle into a position that feels stable and supported, knowing that nothing needs to be controlled in this moment. Nothing needs to be anticipated, and nothing needs to be managed. And as your eyes close or soften, let your awareness gently turn inward, toward the steady rhythms that are already under your influence, like your breath moving in and out, your attention resting where you choose, and your body responding naturally without instruction. Because today's session is about restoring a sense of control that has always existed beneath fear. A quieter, more reliable form of control that does not depend on supervising every detail or predicting every outcome. Dental anxiety often feels intense because the environment activates an old association with helplessness, where the nervous system learned to equate lying still or allowing someone else to work with danger. Yet, that association is not a reflection of present reality. It is a pattern formed when the body lacked information, choice, or support. And today, you are gently updating that pattern. As you breathe, notice that even now, you are not in charge of everything, yet nothing bad is happening, which begins to teach the subconscious a powerful lesson. Safety does not require total control. Allow that realization to land slowly, without forcing belief. Many people confuse control with vigilance, believing that staying alert, tense, and prepared will prevent harm. But vigilance exhausts the nervous system and often amplifies fear, whereas true control is internal, calm, and responsive. Bring awareness now to aspects of experience that are always within your influence. The pace of your breathing, the direction of your attention, the decision to relax a muscle or let a thought pass. These are forms of agency that remain available regardless of external circumstances. As you notice your breath, allow it to slow slightly, not by force, but by permission, letting each exhale signal to the body that it can loosen its grip. Imagine the nervous system beginning to differentiate between external activity and internal safety, learning that even if someone else is performing a procedure, your internal world remains yours. Now, gently introduce the idea that control does not mean stopping sensations from occurring, but knowing how to respond to them if they do. This distinction is crucial because the body relaxes when it trusts its ability to cope rather than its ability to prevent. As you breathe, imagine an internal control panel made of simple, dependable tools: breath, focus, boundaries, and response. These tools do not need to be used aggressively. They function best when used lightly and confidently. Notice how reassuring it feels to know that you can shift attention away from discomfort, return focus to breath, or mentally check in with your body at any time. This knowing alone reduces fear. Now imagine yourself in a dental setting, not as a vivid scene, but as a neutral concept, and notice how your body responds while you remain grounded in the present. Observe any sensations that arise without judging them, and gently remind the nervous system that sensation does not mean danger, and lack of external control does not mean internal vulnerability. You are teaching the body that being still is not the same as being trapped, and that allowing assistance is not the same as surrendering safety. If feelings of helplessness surface, acknowledge them with kindness, recognizing that they are learned responses trying to protect you, and let them know that new information is available now. Imagine telling that protective part, without words, that you are here, aware, and capable of responding at any moment. Feel how that reassurance softens tension. Bring awareness again to your breath, noticing that it continues effortlessly, even when attention drifts, demonstrating that the body knows how to maintain itself without constant oversight. This is an important metaphor. Many systems function safely without your supervision. As this sinks in, imagine expanding your definition of control to include trust, allowing, and adaptability. Control does not weaken when you release rigid monitoring. It becomes more flexible and effective. Now imagine being able to communicate boundaries easily, knowing internally that you could signal, pause, or adjust if needed, and feel how this possibility restores confidence, even if it is never used. The body relaxes when it knows options exist. Over time, fear diminishes not because every variable is controlled, but because you trust yourself to respond intelligently. Allow your nervous system to feel that trust now, as a steady warmth or grounded sensation in the chest or abdomen. If your mind attempts to rehearse worst-case scenarios, notice that impulse without following it, gently returning attention to what is real and available now. This practice trains the subconscious to prioritize present safety over imagined risk. As you continue, imagine that each time you breathe calmly in a context where control feels limited, the nervous system learns a new association. Limited control plus calm equals safety. This rewires old patterns of helplessness. Now picture yourself allowing someone else to perform a task while you remain internally steady, observing sensations without amplification, responding rather than bracing. Notice how different this feels from vigilance. There is less strain, less urgency, more space. This is internal control in action. As the session progresses, allow this sense of agency to become quieter and more embodied, not something you think about, but something you feel as a stable baseline. You do not need to assert control aggressively when you trust it is already present. Let this trust extend through the body, easing areas that habitually tense when control feels uncertain, like the jaw, hands, or stomach. Feel how muscles release when they no longer need to stand guard. Understand now, at a deeper level, that safety is not dependent on stopping experiences, but on your relationship to them. You can remain safe, grounded, and intact even while allowing help, remaining still, or sharing control temporarily. As this realization integrates, imagine future situations where this calm agency arises automatically, without conscious effort. You notice yourself breathing, staying present, allowing procedures to unfold without internal resistance, and feeling surprisingly steady. This steadiness is not resignation, it is confidence. As you prepare to conclude this session, let the subconscious absorb the core learning. You do not lose safety when you are not in charge of everything, because Your most important controls are internal and always accessible. When you gently return attention outward, carry with you the embodied knowledge that control rooted in trust feels lighter, calmer, and more reliable than control rooted in fear. And that this shift is already underway within you, reshaping how your body responds with each repetition, each breath, and each experience of allowing without danger.